Good morning, sports fans. Welcome. Today is Thursday, March 26th, 2026. You're watching RateGame Live, hosted by yours truly, donning some new merch from our good friend and creator, T3.
Thank you, T3. We got our shirts just in time for the Sweet 16.
Very good.
Very excited.
That's my executive producer, by the way. Also, my wife. All right. So, yeah, today's Thursday, March 26th. We got the Sweet 16 tonight. I got my Mets hat on because it's also opening day. We had opening night last night, which we'll get into. And now we have the full menu of games. This is the official start of the season for baseball. So, rocking the T3 merch, which, by the way, this is one of the cleanest, coolest logos ever, bar none. Forget the fact that he's on RateGame. He's a creator. The man just knows ball. Just like, look at this. Look at this little happy basketball. And I don't know if people know this. This is like the attention to detail that I just absolutely love. So his name and his handle on X or Twitter is T3. This, he's a bracketologist, is a bracket. This is a bracket, folks. The subtle attention to detail is second to none. I absolutely love it. So thank you, T3, for this hat or for the shirt. New York Mets for the hat. We are rocking and rolling. All right. So here's how the show works, folks. For those that might be new to the program, it's live. I do this every morning at or around 8:30 Eastern. And here's what we do. We take a look at sports, first and foremost, in the world of RateGame. And we say, or we answer rather, a simple question. Were the sports good? And how we do that is we look at the last 24 hours and we tally the ratings and we arrive at a number out of 10, 0 to 10. Looking at the last 24 hours, we had 14 games to rate. There were 3 leagues in action, 1 for baseball. I think there was 1 or 2 for hockey. And then the NBA had a full slate. So 12 games for the NBA. 977 ratings, which means that a lot of folks were going back into the archive still. We're still getting a lot of traffic, a lot of people discovering RateGame for the first time, coming in, rating the Super Bowl, rating the buzzer beater that Dylan Darling had for St. John's, rating the craziness of the Vandy, Nebraska game. So all good stuff, but we are focused on just last night. Sports were okay. 6.6. The marquee event and what we're going to get into was carrying this, and it was a stinker, but that's a little bit down the line. So probably the most action-packed full show that we have today in terms of just the amount of stuff we have to cover. So we'll get right into it. But before we do, we want to kick things off with we do? No way. Whoa, hello. Hi. And what? Kings fan is on RateGame? Yeah, I know him.
And then Cruz said morning.
Hey, good morning. Good morning to everybody. Wow, 7 people now. That's really cool. Hello, everyone. Thank you for watching. Good morning. Today's Thursday. I already said that. Right, wrap it up. Okay. All right. So yes, so first we say, okay, were the sports good? Sports were okay. Then we do our road to 1 million. So what we're trying to do here is get to 1 million ratings. It's not going to happen overnight. In fact, it's probably going to take us the rest of the year. However, standing here today, we are ever so closer to the next little milestone, which is going to be 200,000 ratings. So 197K and change all time. March, over 31,000 ratings, which is the record for most ratings in a month. And we are under 3,000 now, under 3,000 ratings away until that first big milestone, that little stop on our journey, 200,000. So I think, depending on how tonight goes, if the games are crazy, that means more ratings. We could be looking at 200,000 by Saturday, definitely by Saturday, to the Elite 8. All right. Now, having done the first 2, the road to 1 million and the Were the Sports Good, it is now time to take a look at the single game of the baseball season that kicked off what we'll say opening night. So in the year 2026, where everything is marquee, everything is just spruced up. You have the streamers, you have the networks, you just have like everything has become a spectacle. Netflix brought us their first ever baseball game last night. They opened the MLB season with a baseball game on Netflix, the place where you watch movies and reruns of television shows. And of course, they have their own original programming, but they are ever so slowly starting to creep into the world of live television, which is super interesting to me. Looking at their production last night and kind of taking it all in, I thought they look, it's their first, I think, real foray into this. They've done the Jake Paul dance with Mike Tyson, whatever that was, which I think was a disaster. So this is like a true production with a major league team, baseball, and marquee franchises. You have the Yankees and the San Francisco Giants. You have interleague play. You have two coasts. So really, if you're Netflix, you just couldn't ask for a better game to kick things off. And I think for production's sake, they did a really good job. I was entertained. I was laughing at the yellow cabs, which I think I pulled up here. Actually, I was tweeting about it, so we can actually go to that. So for the New York Yankees, when they were doing their intros, I don't know how you do this. I guess because you're Netflix, you can basically import taxis from wherever you are. This is how they brought out the New York Yankees. They had two yellow cabs and they put them on either side in San Francisco. So that's just to give you like an idea or like a little taste of what was going on in the land of Netflix last night. The game itself was actually terrible. So the Yankees put a touchdown up on the San Francisco Giants. They shut them out 7-0. You had Max Fried on the mound. He actually pitched a 2-hit gem, and the game was what was like weighing us down. So the takeaway here, and actually what I was like incredibly impressed by, just another way that we're continuing to see growth here, is for a regular season baseball game, albeit opening night, albeit on Netflix. I don't know how much that impacted us. We have 99 ratings already. So I imagine that'll be triple digits probably by the time we finish this show, which is just insane to see a regular season baseball game. Opening the season, we always see a little surge in ratings. Things will definitely plateau as we enter the 162 game season today. But just very, very cool to see we have such an incredible baseball community here on RateGame. I'm curious to see what the breakdown is, actually. And we have a lot of Yankee fans on RateGame. They are the second biggest community behind the Toronto Blue Jays. So 11 fans rated this one. 6.5. I think that's actually pretty fair. And then the Giants fans chiming in as well. So that's actually a really good parity across the board here. Awesome. All right, moving on. We have the NBA. Okay, so the NBA is kind of winding down, or the season is drawing to a close. We're starting to enter the next season, which is the playoffs. And so right around this time, every single year, the quality of the games and the gameplay gets better pretty much overnight. Everybody starts to lock in. They take it more seriously. You see guys sitting out less. So you just get better overall. The product, it just becomes more watchable. And so last night, with a full NBA slate, was one of the craziest, I would say, like string of games and endings that I was observing and watching on RateGame in recent memory. So the first game, the number one rated game last night, was this Rockets versus Timberwolves game. So, and here's the tail of the tape. So the Rockets and T-Wolves were tied with 9 seconds left, and the Rockets had the ball. And I Googled this, or I searched this up, so it should be right here for us. 1 second. And I want to show you, because I want to show you this block by Alperen Sengun. All right, here we go.
9 seconds left. They get it into Durant. He tries to swing it to Sengun. Stolen by Nas Reed. Cross court, Randall with 2 seconds left. The drive, that shot blocked.
So that sends us to overtime. You got to see he's bleeding,
We're going to
busted
overtime.
lip,
9 seconds left.
and
They
he
get
got
it to
up there.
Durant.
Like he
tries
I
to
did not
swing
know
it to
Sengun could jump like
stolen
this.
by Naz Reid. Cross court, Randall with
Look at
2
him.
seconds left. The drive, that shot blocked.
All right, so we go to overtime. In overtime, the Timberwolves are up by a score of 100 and the Rockets are up by 13 points. So there's 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in overtime, which is in the NBA, that's not that much time. So, and they're up by 13 points. So the Rockets have this one in the bag, right? They go on to let the Timberwolves score, or the Timberwolves, I should say, scored 15 points unanswered in overtime to close this game out. And Kevin Durant had a chance to win the game, tie the game at the free throw line, and he missed the shot. So we'll see this.
Minnesota's out of timeout, so if Durant makes them both, but he didn't, he missed the first.
That was bad. Let me go back to it. And then, and guess who hit the buzzer beater to win it? Julius Randle. Yeah, I know. All right, so we'll see. We'll give Julius some shine here.
Randle goes and gets it with
high game.
Guarded by Tate. Randle drives in the lane, stops, pops, hits. Minnesota takes the lead with 8.8 seconds left.
So historical finish here is the biggest comeback in overtime history. Biggest comeback in NBA history in overtime. 15-point comeback. Just astounding to lose that game. Up 13 points in overtime with under 3 minutes left. To lose that game. I cannot believe that. All right, so that's number one. Number two, here we go. Detroit Pistons. I'm not even going to show that the Celtics beat the Thunder, even though that is concerning. All right, so the Pistons, who are playing without Cade Cunningham, have been playing the Hawks. Thank you. Little signal from my producer to share a screen. Share a tab, brother. So the Pistons have been playing down their superstar, but they've been in these incredible games, these battles. You had Dennis Jenkins with the buzzer beater the other night against the Lakers. Not the buzzer beater, but the game winner. And you had this game last night versus the Hawks, who are just being the Hawks, right? They're, nothing crazy, nothing special. Kuminga's having an incredible second life on that team, but the Detroit Pistons are the number one seed in the East. So this is a game that they should win, and this is a game that they could have won if Jalen Duren, and I found this out because I was reading the takes, finishes this absolute bunny. He had a shot that he probably makes 99 times out of 100, and last night was that 1 out of 100. So let's see if I can get this. It was an absolute chip, a little bunny, point blank range. I got to get better. There we go. Crazy ending. Had a chance. Oh, there we go. Let's see how close he is to making this.
Green gets it in. Harris for the win. Strong Duren. Left it on the front rim, and the Hawks storm into Detroit and get the win in overtime.
That's the second overtime game. Detroit comes up short, and then we have this game. So absolutely bonkers. The Denver Nuggets don't really, I would say, have the sexiest players making the sexiest plays, because Jokic, just his style is just so kind of loosey-goosey, and I'm going to beat you in, my sweatpants and then go race my horses. Last night, you had him putting up almost a 20-20-20 game, which I think would be the first since Russ did it. And then Jamal Murray scored 53 points. So the Nuggets, I just think, year in and year out, what a beautiful thing it is to watch Nikola Jokic night in and night out. What a performance. Everyone else is really good too. 50-burger from Jamal. Payne with a really solid game. Lots of reasons to be optimistic tonight. Can the NBA just give us a break with these effing back-to-backs next year? That's a good take. So you had that game. Okay. That game did not go to overtime. It was a regular game in full time. And then you had this game. So LeBron goes to Cambridge and has what I think is an immediate top 5 meme in his career with the double point. I got to get this. Watch this. Ooh. Get the sound. Okay, cool. Zoom in for this.
LeBron just takes it up easily, lays it in, and 2 Pacers, little friendly fire. They both went to the floor. LeBron says, both of you, gotcha.
Yeah, some incredible memes. I think this will be top 5 for
Pacers,
sure.
little friendly fire. They both went to the floor. LeBron says, both of you, gotcha.
All right, so that was, I think, the little feather in the cap for the NBA last night. You also had the Celtics beating the Thunder. I mentioned that. You also had an incredible game from the 76ers. I think Embiid went off, so good to see him getting in shape and tuning up in time for the playoffs. And yeah, I mean, look, we're in March. It's obviously still college basketball dominating the airwaves, but we are very close to the NBA playoffs. And the way that this is like shaping up this year, it's just going to be one hit after another. You have March Madness right into the NHL and NBA playoffs, right into the World Cup, right into football. Just like it's going to be nonstop, which is, it just never happens like this. There's always like a little lull, but not in 2026, folks. All right. So the next thing, speaking of World Cup, every Thursday, we do a little thing here called Throwback Thursday, but it is a specific game or like a classic that we drop and we create in RateGame. And usually I accompany it with some highlights of the game. In place of that right now on the actual app and on the web is this live stream, which I'll leave up probably until noon or 1 o'clock when the games and the MLB games kick off or opening day gets started. And then I'll probably put in the highlights of this one. So the game today that we're dropping, because there's also World Cup qualifiers, is the World Cup Final, the 2022 World Cup Final. So if you go on RateGame, it should be there right in your face. Let me just tee this up. On the app, it should be right on your face. It says Throwback Thursday. You really can't miss it. But if you're on the web, you could just search FIFA Final, and it'll be there. You can also now select your country for the World Cup. So we have the flags that we're starting to populate in the app. We also are waiting for the results of these qualifiers to get the full field, the full 48 teams, the full 48 countries, I should say, that make the World Cup. But this game, to me personally, when you think about sports, I don't want to screw this up. When you think about sports, right? When you think about the hierarchy and global competition, there's like the Olympics in the summer and the winter, and then there's the World Cup. The World Cup, I think, is the only sporting event where every country, to some degree, has a chance to field a team to compete because we're all playing the same sport. It's not like the Swedes, who are incredible at skiing, or the Canadians, who are incredible at hockey, except for this year, have like certain advantages because of their climate. World Baseball Classic, also another international competition. It's a great call, actually. We just had that. So there's 4 of them. And the World Cup, I think, is the grandest of them all because it has the most participation from the most countries. So where am I going with this? I think the fact that there is enough parity and that it's the most watched sporting event every 4 years. It breaks its own record. It beats the Super Bowl. Super Bowl does, I think, like 130 million. The World Cup is in the billions. Just on a totally different sphere. And for this game to have unfolded in the way that it did, You have the most watched, viewed tournament in the world with the final game with the most important and well-known players in Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe. I think this is the greatest, I think it's fair to say, in my lifetime, is the greatest sports game in the history of the world. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. Every game I've seen since has been measured against this game. Personally, there's a couple other 10s that I've seen in my life, and I've gotten a little bit looser with it just because I've grown to appreciate how incredibly hard it is to witness or to see a 10.0, but this really is like an 11. I don't think another sporting event will come close to this. It ended in penalties, and even the penalties, it was just so intense. It was so intense.
Yeah, better than the movie.
Yeah, it's like cinema in real life. That's what's so great about sports. Straight up. Yeah, so that's the game. That's what this is all about. World Cup Final 2022. It's crazy. It was in December. I remember because of COVID, we didn't get the World Cup when it was, supposed to be in the summer. They had to wait till the fall. But it ended up making for, I think, an even better atmosphere. So that's available to rate will be for the end, as long as RateGame is around, which will be forever, hopefully. And the next thing we want to talk about is, and this is a nice little segue, is the fact that there's actually 10 games today that will be on RateGame. We're going to have to add them manually, so you won't be able to see them. You won't be able to make your predictions as you normally would with other leagues that we have live scores for. But there are 10 qualifying games today. So we have Italy, Northern Ireland, Wales, and is that Bosnia? Wow. And Bosnia, Ukraine versus Sweden, Poland versus Albania, Turkey versus Romania. Is that Slovakia? Slovakia versus Kosovo. Wow. Denmark versus North Macedonia, Czechia versus Ireland. Oh, so Northern Ireland and Ireland are two different countries? Really? Has that always been the case? Are they two different countries in the same landmass?
Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. The more you know.
The two jurisdictions.
Do they have the same flag? Learn something new every day, folks. Northern Ireland and Ireland, two different countries. Both competing for a spot in the World Cup. That's got to be dramatic.
Northern Ireland left after the UK separated.
Oh, the Brexit?
I think so.
Oh, interesting. So recently. Wow. All right.
Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom, while the Republic of Ireland is an independent sovereign nation.
Interesting. Wow. I wonder, and obviously Ireland's much bigger than Northern Ireland. Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. 10 qualifying games today. They'll all be available to rate. I will add them manually. I'll be tracking them. 2 countries on 1 island.
1 island.
Right.
2 countries. Northern Ireland.
Oh, it's tiny. Wow. Interesting. Same flag.
Yeah. Northern Ireland is part of the United Kingdom.
This is
Republic of Ireland.
putting me in a pretzel, folks. This is
European Union.
This is breaking my brain. But they have the same flag.
No.
Like, how would I know who's who?
Just by the title.
Yeah. I wonder if that was the compromise. It's like, all
They
right,
have the same.
they, have
No.
this-
They do not have the same. flag.
they do not have the same flag. Should we look it up?
They don't have the same. But
It was like a different color, orange or something.
I can't figure it out. AI is also in a pretzel.
I don't want to offend anybody. People get pretty passionate about their countries. Yeah. So all 10 games on RateGame. We will figure out the Northern Ireland dilemma. It's not a dilemma. They're both their own countries. I got to stop talking about this. Yes. So the Sweet 16 is tonight. Yes. What a transition. What a pivot. Sweet 16 is tonight, and we are back in action on the Pick'em Challenge. So let us go to the world of college basketball on RateGame. Shout out T3. Wearing the merch. Wonder who he's got. Let's see. Pregame picks. A little upcoming. Nice. Okay. Let me share this tab. So kicking us off, we have Texas at Purdue. Shout out Joyce. I'm going with Purdue for you.
What does Joyce do for a game?
Joyce does everything. She's a engineer, coder extraordinaire, boots on the ground. Okay.
You just say a name.
The people know Joyce. Yeah, so we have 87% people picking Purdue. Texas is on an actual dream run right now. They are an 11 seed. They were a first 4 play-in team. So they've already played 3 games when everybody else has only played 2.
Yep.
Texas, horns up.
Yeah.
People want Purdue though. Actually, might need to make a move here and go with Texas if I want to.
I'm so torn.
Yeah.
I'm so torn because I picked Cinderella's for the entire round 2.
It's coming back to bite you.
And it came back to bite me, but I think I might be wrong.
The Pick'em Challenge, by the way, in the app, the little tracker that we built is now dynamic. So you can see the leaderboard and then you can click into their individual trackers and you can see where they went wrong, where they went right. Super impressive. The leader, Jimmer Range, his picks on this thing, he went 44 out of 52, including an astounding 30 for 32 in round 1. He only got 2 picks wrong. One of them was St. Louis. And I think the other one was I think it was High Point. So I don't think you can do it on the web. It just goes to his profile. But you can do it on mobile. So another reason to join RateGame. You can check out the tracker there. So we got that as the first game. We have 4 games tonight. 4 games for the Sweet 16. All these winners will be playing on Saturday. Oh, this is going to be, I think, the game of the night. This game is going to feed families. This is a football game. These are 2 massive football programs and semi-rivals. I'd say Iowa State, Iowa is the true rivalry there. But Nebraska and Iowa definitely have history. And they're playing a basketball game. The winner gets to go to the Elite 8. And I don't think either of these programs have been that far in this tournament. I know Nebraska just got their first win. Fred Hoiberg, after that insane game versus Vandy. I just have a feeling that this game is going to be electric. Iowa has advanced? They have.
4 times.
4 times. Wow. Nebraska definitely not.
Has not yet advanced. We're all going for Nebraska.
That's why everyone's on Nebraska.
First time they reached the Sweet 16.
First time in program history. Yeah. Fred Hoiberg. Legend. I got him. And then we got Maddie's Cats, Wild for the Cats, featuring Koa Pete. And we got my guy Bradley versus A-Cuff, the one-man band, the absolute scoring machine. This will be an incredible game. All these games are going to be awesome from here on out. Let's be real, folks. I just don't foresee blowouts anymore. What?
Arizona and Arkansas and Arizona have both gone to the Elite 8 11 times.
11 times? Wow. Arkansas? That must have been a long time ago. I don't.
Last time was 2022.
I don't associate.
2022 was the last time we went to the Elite 8.
I just always think of Arizona as like a really good
They've both gone 11
basketball school. Wild about those Cats, man. But the Arkansas has John Calipari.
Arizona haven't gone since 2000.
They have not gone since 2015. Yeah, it's been a minute. Well, I'm on the Cats, and then I'm going to cap us off with Illinois over Houston. That's a stupid pick, actually. I might switch that one, folks. I might switch that pick. I don't think it's wise to bet against or pick against, rather, pick against Coach Sampson. And then tomorrow we have just the premier programs. We got Patino versus Shire, Oates versus, oh my gosh, what is the Michigan coach's name? I should know this. Dusty May, obviously. Dusty May versus Nate Oates. And we got Izzo versus Hurley. Wow. What a treat. Unbelievable. The next 48 hours are going to be incredible. All right. So that is tonight. Full slate of MLB. World Cup qualifiers galore. Sweet 16. It is just a wonderful time to be a sports fan. Who's got it better than us? That's a trick question. The answer is nobody. So signing off for today. My name is Nick Mark George. It's a great day to rate some games. See you tomorrow. Same time, same place.